Howdy y'all, namaste, and welcome back to another episode of this IDIS 1250, Introduction to Sustainability Studies. This is the third video of this course, and again, I'm Dr. Brad Bannon, your professor and guide through this course. And today we're continuing with our first week of class. We're continuing here with week one. I'm going to basically just read the preface to you. So I first had the idea for writing this book about sustainability when I was standing in Wilkins Lumber in Milford, New Hampshire, inhaling the rich scent of freshly cut pine, all sorts of different wood flavors there. And I was there to buy wood for the milking stanchion, the same milking stanchion that you saw in the first video for this course, that I was building for our family cow back on our small homestead. As I ran my hand along the rough-hewn boards, I was struck by a thought. This lumber mill, which has been operating since 1808, embodies so many of the principles of sustainability that we too often think of as futuristic concepts. More than that, it represents a harmony between human needs and nature's rhythms, a harmony that's at the heart of true sustainability. Now, many of my students at Fitchburg State talk about sustainability like it's something far off on the horizon. Like one day we'll be technologically advanced enough to be sustainable. But standing there in Wilkins Lumber, surrounded by centuries-old practices of responsible forestry and local production, I realized how misguided that thinking is. We need to be sustainable starting yesterday, not tomorrow. And most, if not all, of the solutions to our unsustainable practices are already here, ready to be implemented. Some of the best solutions, in fact, are anything but new. They're about rediscovering the harmony that once existed between humans and non-human nature. Most of it, of course, pre-industrial. Now let me back up a little bit and introduce myself. You've already met me a little bit, but my journey to writing this textbook has been anything but straightforward. I was raised in South Carolina, spending my childhood exploring forests, creeks, and ponds. Well, one pond really. A connection to nature that would shape my future in ways that I really couldn't have imagined at the time. My early career took me to the bustling world of finance at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter on the 73rd floor of Tower 2 of the World Trade Center. But after the events of September 11th, 2001, when I sat there and watched my old office building burn to the ground, I felt called to redirect my life towards interreligious dialogue and interfaith cooperation. So I went to seminary. This new path led me to seminary, then to India to study the Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit with a guru. While there, I earned a second master's degree in comparative ecological ethics, and I wrote my thesis on ecosophy, or the wisdom of the earth. It was during my doctoral studies at Harvard that I bought a 9-acre farm in New Hampshire, determined to raise my 2 kids on a homestead where they could feel connected to nature, particularly to their food and the environment it comes from. Which brings me back to Wilkins Lumber and this textbook. As I stood there contemplating the sustainability inherent in this centuries-old business, I realized how desperately we need to reconnect with these principles. We've lost our connection to nature, a phenomenon that we'll explore in Chapter 19 as nature deficit disorder. And it struck me that our students at Fitchburg State University, and indeed students everywhere, need a comprehensive introduction to sustainability that bridges the gap between those ancient wisdom and cutting-edge solutions. We need both. I would like them to understand sustainability not just as a set of practices, but really as a quest for harmony. That's why I've written this textbook, or am writing this textbook, Introduction to Sustainability Studies, a quest for harmony. It's designed to give my students, you, at Fitchburg State, a firm foundation in sustainability studies. This introductory course is a core component of our newly approved Sustainability Studies minor as of this school year. While we'll only scratch the surface of many of the topics here, this is an introductory course after all, the highly interdisciplinary faculty at Fitchburg State will guide those of you who are choosing to minor in sustainability much deeper into these specialized topics. For instance, Chapter 16 and 17 of this course focus on global energy problems and solutions. not things that I'm, especially an expert in. But they set the stage for more advanced courses like energy and sustainable practices. Other advanced courses, such as GEOG 2006, Water Resources and Society, another part of this sustainability's minor, will build on the foundations that we lay here in chapters 14 and 15 on saltwater and freshwater. Now, I have a confession to make, legit. When I set out to write this book last summer, I did not know most of what's in it. This project has been an incredible learning experience for me. I've learned much about every topic, from topics that I've been studying for decades, like systems thinking, chapter 2, and eco-spirituality, most of part 3, to concepts that were as new to me as they may be to you now, such as the One Health theory that we'll explore in chapter 13, and Wangari Maathai's inspiring Greenbelt movement, which we'll look at in chapter 9. Now, I've divided the book into 3 parts. Part 1 lays the theoretical groundwork, introducing key concepts and frameworks for understanding sustainability while teaching pivotal historical moments like Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. Part 2 dives into practical applications, exploring both challenges and solutions in areas like soil health, food systems, water resources, and energy production. Part 3 then brings everything together, focusing on values, ethics, and action, how we can each play a role in creating a more sustainable world. Now, throughout this book, we'll return to examples like Wilkins Lumber, examining how sustainability practices and principles play out in the real world, often in places and practices that we might overlook, many of them right in our own backyard. We'll see how a local lumber mill can embody ecological sustainability through responsible forest management, economic sustainability through resilience and local sourcing, and social sustainability by being a cornerstone of its community for over 2 centuries. I've tried to make this book as accessible and engaging as possible. It's free for anyone to use under Creative Commons Attribution License. It's accessible to students of all abilities and will eventually be accompanied by an audiobook. That's what I'm recording right now. For people like me who are neurodivergent with ADHD and chronic screen fatigue. Who doesn't have chronic screen fatigue, really? Also, here's a tip. You can upload the PDF. I don't actually have a PDF of it right now, but you can upload the document that I'm sharing with you to any AI tool like ChatGPT, Claude, Notebook LM, highly recommend, or Gemini, to ask questions and interact with the content in new ways. And I may eventually build one of those tools for you so that you just click the link and use it. I formatted the book with this in mind, believing that AI can be a powerful tool to help you engage more deeply with the material by helping to explain things in a way that is best suited to you as an individual learner. Students enrolled in my class will also receive a markdown file. I do have one of those if you want, and a system prompt for this purpose. As we embark on this journey together, I want you to know that sustainability isn't just about preserving the environment, it's also about creating a world where both humanity and nature can thrive. It's about understanding the intricate connections between our actions and the world around us. And yes, sometimes it's about standing in a 200-year-old lumber mill and realizing that the future that we're striving for has roots deep, deep in the past. The solutions are here in our local communities. But more than anything, sustainability is about harmony. It's about learning to listen to the voices around us, whether they're human voices, the songs of the birds, the rustle of leaves, or the rush of a waterfall. It's about hearing the wisdom of indigenous people who have lived in balance with nature for millennia. And it's about finding our own voice in this grand chorus of life. To sustain, we must harmonize. We must be concordant with the insects and the birds, resonate with one another in a chorus of justice and equality, and cultivate a sincere appreciation for diversity in all of its forms. But harmony isn't uniformity. That's monotony. Harmony entails each of us contributing our unique voice in a way that only we can, while also blending with the whole. So, whether you're a student at Fitchburg State University or a professor considering this textbook for your own course, or simply someone curious about sustainability, I invite you to dive in. Let's explore, question, and imagine together. Let's learn from the wisdom of the past and the innovations of the present to create a more sustainable future. And who knows, maybe by the end of this book, you'll find yourself looking at a local lumber mill, or a cow pasture, or a community garden with new eyes, seeing principles of sustainability at work in the most unexpected places. Who knows, you might even start to hear the harmony that exists all around us, waiting for us to join in. So, welcome to this journey. Let's get started together on our quest for harmony. Peace.